I'd like to call the May 2018 meeting of the Franklin City School Board to order. Thank you all for coming. If you have a cell phone, please make sure it's silenced. But we're always glad to have you. Do we have a motion to come out of closed session and for certification of our closed session?
Whereas the Franklin City School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas Section 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Franklin City School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and two, only public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. Leonard, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion for certification signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Motions from closed sessions, I believe we have two. The first is to approve personnel actions as presented. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the personnel agenda as presented.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the personnel actions as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Those motions carried. We have a motion to accept the recommendations for reappointment.
I make a motion that we approve the recommendations for reappointment for the 2018-2019 school year.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to accept the recommendations for reappointment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Our Pledge of Allegiance, please stand. Franklin High School.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Connor McCoy, a junior at Franklin High School, to lead us in the pledge tonight.
Good evening. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Connor. Roll call, Ms. Moore.
Rebecca Justice,
Present.
Amy Phillips,
Present.
Dr. Andrea Hall-Leonard,
Present.
Marshall Williams,
Present.
Jessica Grant,
Present.
Robert Holt,
Present.
Wanda Smith.
Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to accept and approve the agenda as presented.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We have no one that signed up for citizens' time. So we'll move to our consent agenda. We have approval for minutes, May the 17th. Also have April 26th and May the 3rd.
May 17th,
Mr. Chairman, I move.
Dr. Holland, excuse me. We can't approve minutes for May 17. That's today. We got a mistake on the date.
Mr. Chairman.
You're right, Mr. Wood. Do we have a motion to approve April 26th?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the school board meeting minutes for Thursday, April 26, 2018.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. How about May 3rd?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the school board work session minutes from May 3rd, 2018.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes for May 3rd signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Williams, for your comment. Report of the superintendent. Ms. Sterling.
Okay, thank you, School Board and Chairman Holt. We'll move on with the Superintendent's report. We'll first start with the Student Liaison Report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tonight I will begin my document with Franklin High School. This week, Franklin High School completed spring SOL retakes. We will start second semester on May 24th. Before SOLs, we have benchmarks on May 15th and the 16th, which gives teachers data for the SOL. Academic awards was part of Night of the Stars. We recognize students who are on honor roll, principals list, and our honor graduates. We completed AP testing, and we are working on industry certification testing currently. Plans are being made for summer school. Courses such as English 12 and Spanish 1 are being offered. We also have summer school and SOL academies for every SOL subject for those who do not pass that subject. We had a group of 12 distinct men attend the 200-plus college breakfast on May 12th. We had second semester science fair on Wednesday, May 9th. All second semester science students did a project. We had many students and parents come out. The Ascend Club continues to meet, which is sponsored by the AKA sorority. It is a great addition to our school clubs. We had one student receive his one-year general education study certificate on May 11th from Paul D. Camp. Congratulations to Deontay Jefferson. We had our prom on Saturday, May 12th at the Cypress Cove. Everything went great. Kayla Hines Italy and Davon Smith were named prom king and queen. JRTC has been on 2 field trips this month. On May 1st, they visited VSU, and on Tuesday, May 15th, they went to Fort Lee. Teacher Appreciation Week was from May 7th to the 11th. We had a lot of participation from within the community. There were also daily tokens of appreciation that were given by FHS staff, and central office. Our spring sports are involved in district, regional, and state tournaments around this time of year. We are hoping for great results. And now for JP King. I would like to begin with the intramural sports. Volleyball is a co-ed sport that kicks up in May. It consists of 38 players and 4 teams. The parents' volleyball game will be on May 1st, 2018. And now to golf. Paul Babashananian is the assistant director of the Golf Operation Outreach. Mr. Paul visited JP King to introduce the golf program to the PE department, to Mrs. Lawrence and 18 other students. Golf started out with 18 students, but now all 6th and 7th graders are involved in PE. Their first tee lesson was on May 8, 2018. And now to their math department. The math department at JP King Middle School is in full accelerator mode. Students are engaged in accelerating their learning through usage of simulated questions. Teachers are using strategies of brain dumping prior to review, test-taking strategies, which is highlighting information to solve for the solution to the math problem, demonstrating their understanding by verbally responding to questions the teachers ask, and students explaining their solutions to the math problem to verify their solutions. The use of technology during this acceleration is having students engaged and working together in teams to compete in playing math games. Some of these examples are Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? And now for 21st Century. Team JPK 21st Century program is running smoothly. They are preparing students for their upcoming SOLs. Student progress has been on the move. For the Saturday Academy, the April and May Saturday Academies for reading were also successful. 8th grade students participated in a reading skate room and a Fortnite-themed digital breakout. 6th and 7th grade students worked in stations and completed small group activities. The students have been taking weekly reading checkpoints that are aligned to the state tested blueprint and curriculum framework. On the second checkpoint, 6th graders earned a dress down day, and the third checkpoint, all grade levels achieved good pass rates. Reading and civics have gotten off to a great start for SOL testing, and we are very excited to see the results after Group 2 test on the 17th and 18th. And for Night of the Stars, students who have made honor roll and principals lists for the first through third 9 weeks at the Night of the Stars event held at Franklin High School, May 10th, 2018. Also, the Avid, STEM, and Google Expedition programs were presented. And for SP Morton, they are having a Boston and mentoring group each Friday. There was a Dairy Queen night on May 3rd, 2018. SP Morton also held a second grade swim program from May 7th to the 11th. The SOL testing began on May 8th, 2018. And their PALS test was from April 30th and is currently going all the way up until May 25th. Kindergarten and first grade took a trip to the Norfolk Zoo on May 24th, 2018. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you so much for that update.
Thank you so much, and this may be his last meeting, and he's done a wonderful job all year, and you're going to William and Mary, correct?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Since we're recognizing people, I would like for Mr. Phelps to stand up.
Oh, wow.
I don't think any of this would be possible without Mr. Phelps. He took me under his wing this year, and I'm very grateful for that, Mr. Phelps.
And I know his mom is here. Would you stand, please? Wow, I can't think of a better example of a Franklin High School graduate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll move now to the human resource update.
Thank you, Ms. Sterling. Chairman Holt, Vice Chair, Dr. Hall Leonard, board members, Franklin community. I'll begin with the good news tonight, and I'll ask Ms. Conway if she will come and assist me in giving these illustrious awards. I want to begin with the Best Teacher Attendance Award for the month of April 2018. That goes to SP Morton Elementary, 94.7%. The Best Student Attendance Award goes to J.P. King Middle, 96.6%.
Look every time.
Next is our Bronco Pride Clean School Award. That's given each month to the school that is just shining the brightest and prettiest. Of course, it's based on an inspection report that's done monthly. This month, the month of April 2018, it goes to Franklin High School. Where Miss Knight, Miss Bryant, and Mr. Randall come from. All right, this is Mr. Randall. The other two custodians are Miss Knight, Sandra Knight, and Veronica Knight and Sandra Bryant. Got it backwards. Okay, Mr. Randall. Next, it's my pleasure to announce two extremely deserving employees to receive our Excellence Award for the month of April 2018. The first Excellence Award is for professional staff, and that for the month of May goes to Miss Jessica Brannon from Franklin High School. Congratulations to you. And this reads, Excellence Award presented to Jessica Brannon in recognition and deep appreciation for your exemplary achievement, contribution, performance, and commitment to the students, staff, and community of Franklin City Public Schools. Ms. Brannon, we are very proud to have you as part of our family, and I want to present this to you. And
Yeah.
Ms. Brannon, okay?
That's awesome.
And I want you to stand while I read what was written about. Okay? As you know, Miss Brannon serves as our Spanish teacher at the high school, and she also serves our ESL students across the division. And this is some comments that were written about her in her nomination. Consistently, she is willing to sacrifice her time and resources to support her colleagues. Miss Brannon provides insight to other teachers, and she performs invaluable services before, during, and after school. She is a positive presence for her students each day. As a Spanish educator, Miss Brannon uplifts both students, both inside and outside of the classroom, by serving as the ESL teacher, soccer coach, and facilitator of many other activities that go on at Franklin High School. She has a significant impact on many of the students enrolled in Franklin City Public Schools. Her pleasant demeanor and personality make her an absolute joy to be around and a role model for all staff, teachers, and students. So we're very, very proud to have you as part of our family, Ms. Brannon. Congratulations. Next, our Excellence Award for Support Staff. For the month of May, that goes to Mr. Quincy Boone. This award reads, in recognition and deep appreciation for your exemplary achievement, contribution, performance, and commitment to the students, staff, and community of Franklin City Public Schools. Okay, hold on to that. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I want you to stand up here with me while I tell a little bit about you, okay? Mr. Boone has been with us for many, many years, and he is just invaluable. I can't imagine Franklin City Public Schools without Mr. Quincy Boone. Mr. Boone greets staff and students every morning with a smile and a positive attitude. He works many after-school hours and weekends to allow our community to use our facility. He is committed to keeping our school safe, clean, and he goes way above the call of duty. He is hardworking, dedicated, loyal, and an all-around excellent employee. We're very, very glad to have you as part of our family, Mr. Boone. Thank you for all that you do. Okay. Okay, next is a very, very exciting part of our program tonight that we've been looking forward to all year, and that is recognition of our 2017-18 Teacher of the Year. Earlier in this spring, each school chose their Teacher of the Year to represent their school. Each candidate from each of the schools went through a process, an application process, and an interview process with a very esteemed committee. And one candidate was selected as the division Teacher of the Year, the Franklin City Public Schools Teacher of the Year. Before we make that announcement, I'd like to recognize and call forth up here all of our Teacher of the Year recipients this year. I'll begin with S.P. Morton Elementary School, Mr. Clinton Smith. Congratulations for being recognized as the S.P. Morton Elementary School Teacher of the Year for 2017-18 school year. Thank you. And you can just stand right up there. Next, representing J.P. King Middle School is Mr. Wallace Johnson. Mr. Wallace Johnson, J.P. King Middle School Teacher of the Year, 2017-18. Congratulations, Mr. Johnson. And last but certainly not least, First Sergeant Derek Robinson from Franklin High School. First Sergeant Mr. Derek Robinson, Franklin High School Teacher of the Year, 2017-18. You'll join those gentlemen up front. Okay. While Miss Bly is getting a photo of these fine gentlemen, I just want everybody to take a look at our Teachers of the Year. And the crowd is still standing. I don't know that I ever remember a time where there were 3 gentlemen representing each of our schools, and it is very, very exciting to see. I can't say enough about each one of you individually, and if I had to choose, oh my gosh, what a hard decision. I will share that our committee had a very difficult decision because the committee believes that all of you are winners, and that's how everybody obviously believes. You're all winners in your own school for the ways that you contribute to our students and our staff. And we're just so fortunate and blessed to have you at S.P. Morton and at J.P. King and at Franklin High School and part of our Franklin City Public Schools family. But now's the time to announce the Franklin City Public Schools Division Teacher of the Year for 2018-19. It is my pleasure to announce our winner is Mr. Wallace Johnson. Mr. Wallace Johnson, Franklin City Public Schools Teacher of the Year 2017-18. Turn that around. Ms. Sterling. And this one is yours too. Okay, congratulations. I'd like to recognize Mr. Johnson's wife, Ms. Alma
first time the board got the names of those three, I think it was Ms. Phillips that said, how would you like to pick the best from among those three? They're all terrific.
I
They
have
really
to
are.
say, all three of them, I never would have wanted any part of picking those three. We could not have three better representatives for our division, and a certain young lady says, congratulations. And you know who I'm talking about, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Ms. Sterling, if you'd like for me to move on?
Yes, please.
Okay, I wanted to bring to your attention that Teacher Appreciation Week was last week, the May 7th through the 11th, and as we informed you at our work session, we saluted and celebrated our teachers all week long. Some of the activities, each school provided a special lunch for their staffs. We provided breakfast each day for the teachers and staff. Fruit baskets were available in each school for the teachers and staff. The division actually gave them 2 gifts. On Wednesday, we gave them a beautiful engraved keychain that said Franklin City Public Schools dedicated to delivered excellence. And on Friday, we gave them a pencil holder that was a picture frame built into it that said Franklin City Public Schools. And their administrators from each school provided gifts and incentives and fun things for them throughout the week. Am I doing this? I included some pictures of the activities during Teacher Appreciation Week. I think this was a luncheon at Franklin High School. Again, the luncheon at Franklin High School. We had a very, very special treat during last week in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week. We had the Secretary of Education, Mr. Atif Carney, and the Chairman of the Virginia Board of Education, Mr. Daniel Gecker. They came to Franklin High School and met with a group of our teachers in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week. They actually brought lunch. We had teachers selected from each school to join them, and he met with a group of about 15 teachers. Ms. Sterling was there. Mr. Holt, Dr. Hall Leonard came out and greeted them, had a chance to talk with them. And they actually stayed for a good while and did a round table with our teachers. Here's some of the pictures, and you'll see some of the teachers that took place from each of our schools. Thanks to Mr. Phelps for hosting it and having the room so nice. The accommodations were great. This is Mr. Carney right there, our Secretary of Education, seated beside Ms. Sterling. Here's a group picture of Ms. Sterling, Mr. Holt, along with, and Dr. Andrew Hall Leonard, along with our guests, Mr. Gecker and Mr. Carney. So it was really a special treat. We felt honored to have them visit Franklin City Public Schools.
That was quite an honor for them to be here. They're the 2 highest ranking government Virginia officials, so it was just extraordinary.
It was. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on into operations. Is Dan with us this evening? I don't see him. Ms. Wade, can you please do operations?
This is a report from Mr. Custer, our maintenance supervisor. At Franklin High School, there's been a replacement of the hot water heater in the boys' locker room, and they have been doing landscaping. I'm sure that if you visited, you've noticed all the mulching and trimming and cutting they have been doing to make the campuses look beautiful for the spring. J.P. King Junior Middle School, they have done a balance restoration. They've also done landscaping over there. And S.P. Morton, they have done rehabilitation of the cooling water tower as well as landscaping. He included some of the pictures of the landscaping at each of the schools. I'll tell you, mulch in your flower beds and around your shrubs and trees just really, really adds a lot. They're the fans blowing out the leak from the media center in J.P. King, and there's some cracks in the sidewalks that will be repaired. I believe that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Wade, I appreciate it. Next, we'll have our division financial report. Ms. Pamela Kendrick.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. In your board packet, you have the budget comparison report for the end of April. As you can see, we had at the end of April collected 74.53% of our revenues, and we had expended 64.31% of those collected revenues. This time last year, at the end of April, we had collected 74.87% of our revenues, and we had expended 74.84% of those collected revenues. Next in your board packet, you have an authorization to request appropriation. The amount that we are requesting the increase is $1,714.
Do we have a motion to request an authorization for $1,714?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the authorization to request appropriation for the 2017-2018 Part B, Section 611 Flow-Through Sub-Grant Award of $1,714.
Thank you. A second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
And that is all for the financial report.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on into curriculum and instruction. Ms. Edmond, I'll have you come up. We have a report of special education.
Good evening to everyone. Mrs. Sterling, thank you. Good afternoon and good evening, Mr. Holt, Dr. Hall Leonard, and all school board members. Tonight, I just wanted to give you a brief update of our student that attended the Woodrow Wilson Rehabilitation Center. And the center is located in Fishersville, Virginia. And our student spent 10 days away from home, experiencing new, just having new experiences, preparing her for transitioning outside of school once she graduates, preparing for independent life. What she experienced during her visit was a series of assessments based on what her interests are. And her interest in some of the assessments that she participated in were in child care and cosmetology. So the center does a series of tests to see which area best benefits her to prepare her for independent life after school. We have not received the report, but we will be getting a comprehensive report from Woodrow Wilson Rehabilitation Center that will outline specifically what her interests are, and then at that point, we can begin building her transition plan for after-school independent living, directing her in the right direction so that she will have positive experiences once she finishes school. She thoroughly enjoyed her experience. She did get a little homesick at one point because it was the first time she was away from home for an extended period of time without family members. But when we returned to pick her up and I asked her, I was like, well, how'd you enjoy it? You ready to go home? Her whole attitude had changed. She was like, no. So she really enjoyed it. We did get wonderful reports from the counselors and all of the administration there at Woodrow Wilson about this young lady. They had different outings that they participated in. One outing was a trip to the mall, of course, and the counselor told me that out of all of the students that attended that session with her, she was the most mature, the most responsible student that was there during that period of time. There was an incident that came up with the virtual glasses, and the attendant had stepped away. Well, she didn't know she couldn't get in and look at it, and she got in and looked at it. Well, the attendant came back, and he wasn't very nice to her at all. And she handled it with so much poise and so much grace. She made it a point to go back and apologize and explain that she made a mistake. It was not intentional. And they were just very, very, very impressed with how she handled herself being away from home for the first time, and actually being a very young student, because she was one of the youngest ones that were there. So we're looking forward to continuing our students participating with the Woodrow Wilson Rehabilitation Center in DARS. And hopefully next year we'll have more. We did have more to go, but at the last minute, the parents said, I don't want my baby away from me that long. So we only ended up with one student. We had originally 3 students that were going, but we ended up with 1. So I just wanted to provide that bit of information, a brief update of what we're doing with special education at this particular point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Curriculum and instruction report is very limited this month due to testing. All schools have started testing. All schools are nearly, I know JP King, SP Morton are about 50% done with testing, so you will have a comprehensive report on curriculum and instruction as it resumes next month. All right, the superintendent's overview. I'd like to provide you with this month's professional development log for your review. Also this month, I'll share a memorandum of understanding, trend data with the board, updated on May 2018. The MOU has us monitoring curricular alignment, human resource, purpose and direction, and leadership and governance. At this time, we have no indicators that have changed. However, areas that are considered in red or possibly off track, we have planned summer professional development and to incorporate it within our strategic plan as we start that process this summer. Purpose and direction, again, continues to be that area in red. However, I just want to reiterate, we are working to wrap that into, to fold that into our strategic plan, and will be addressed this summer. Reviewed and addressed. I just wanted to update the board. We currently have all observations, but because we had some that exceeded the timeline, we are still trending in yellow until we are meeting the proper timelines. So that concludes the report for the trend data. And to support the trend data, the work is still being done each day towards our MOU. I provided you with the updates in writing. And they are behind the color-coded trend data. To successfully implement plans for a redesign for Franklin City Public Schools, I had requested that we reorganize the central office as far as the flow, who directors are, not people, but positions of directors, subordinates, coordinators, and assistants. In order to do that, I had to send it up to the Office of School Improvement, which is OSI, for their review and approval. At this time, we are on the last submission. The first submission was in black. The response from their feedback was in red and blue font, which is my original feedback to OSI. They submitted it back to me in purple, and when they submitted their comments back in purple, they had 3 comments, and I submitted the feedback in turquoise blue. So I have emailed the Office of OSI to see if we can get approval to move forward with the positions that were requested in that redesign. I also have a meeting scheduled with OSI on May 25th, and OSI is the Office of School Improvement, to go over the redesign plan for J.P. King, and they want to know in detail about the schedule. They have already reviewed all of the documents. However, they want to sit down with the team and go over each aspect of the redesign. And after that, I'm going to request for feedback and a decision so I can present it to the board for formal approval. Are there any questions? Now I would like to provide the board with follow-up information dated May 17th. Earlier this year, I had informed the board that we had some areas that needed to be corrected in our nutritional program. This is a letter from the Commonwealth of Virginia, Department of Education, Nutritional Services Department. They inform us of the areas that we needed to correct. The board has seen a corrective action plan for those areas that need to be correct. However, we will receive a reduction of $5,020.18 in breakfast reimbursement and $1,492.81 in lunch reimbursement. The VDOE has provided you with that explanation, but at this time it is on hold because the division will be requesting a formal review. And we have 15 calendar days to submit that, and that will be sent next week, on Monday, actually. We're working diligently on it, and I will keep the board informed. We did discuss that because there were some areas that we needed to correct, I wanted to, that were cited, I wanted to inform the board that the VDOE has a procedure that they do inform the community, all communities, by uploading the findings to their website. This is the page that you see, no findings identified, that will be listed on the VDOE website. May I please move forward? Is that okay? Next, we'll discuss follow-up for the special education, school psychologists, and Medicaid billing. Psychologists, Medicaid billing, there are specific requirements. School psychologists must meet the following criteria in order to be approved to bill Medicaid for services rendered with the public schools. The candidate must have, 1, completed an approved program in school psychology and hold a master's degree at minimum. Number 2, hold a certificate from the National School Psychology Certification Board. And number 3, hold a school psychologist limited licensure. I wanted to provide the board with this update because during the summer months, we will be looking for a psychologist to hire that has the capability to build Medicaid. Every psychologist does not have these endorsements. However, we will be looking for candidates early that fill these endorsements so we can receive those reimbursements to help our special education department. Next, we'd like to celebrate one of our own employees. She received the WHRO Annie Gilstrap Volunteer Service Award, and that was Miss Anita Harris. Miss Anita Harris was presented the Annie Gilstrap Volunteer Service Award for over 10 years of volunteer service with WHRO. Teaching sessions for parents and teachers, the Great Computer Challenge, Consortium of Interactive Instruction, online courses, Tech Trek, a week-long technology camp, monitoring, taking photos, and implementing the first LEGO League. WHRO salutes Ms. Harris for her approach to each of these events with a great smile and readiness to learn, as much as her readiness to share her knowledge, her support, and passion for the Greater Community Challenge, and the years of training and collaboration with CII. We are very fortunate and pleased to have her with our division. Thank you for everything that you do. It's amazing. Definitely would be an asset to that vision for computer science. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I believe 6.2.
6 points.
Did we miss VDOE authorization of signature in absence of division superintendent? 6.2.
Oh, I do apologize. Yes, we did skip that, and I'm almost certain it does require board approval because the approver is changing. So yes.
Where's that in our packet? Thank you.
I do apologize. Thank you. It's in both.
Do we have a motion to approve the VDOE authorization of signature in absence of the division superintendent?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the VDOE authorization of signature in absence of division superintendent.
Have a second?
A second.
Discussion. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 7, business by school board members. We have a number of items there. Memorial Day holiday coming up. Graduation coming up. June the 15th. We have a school board work session on Thursday, June the 7th. Any discussion about any of those? Any business by members of the board?
I just would like to say, Mr. Chairman, some congratulations tonight. We were definitely pleased with the Teachers of the Year So congratulations again to Mr. Smith, Mr. Robinson, and the Teacher of the Year, Mr. Wallace Johnson. Also wanted to say congratulations, and I wouldn't dare call the names because I may not have all the names, of the recent staff graduations. We are pleased to have many of our staff members who have advanced degrees or either certificates in the last month. So we would like to congratulate you. Also, congratulations to Superintendent Sterling and her staff on a successful community event that was held at Franklin High School, the Night of the Stars. I was most pleased, and I'll call out just a couple. I met with the robotics team, culinary arts, JROTC met us like at the door, Boys to Men program from the elementary school and the Girl Scouts, and I even had an opportunity to speak with the exceptional education students in reference to their community-based instruction. I was most pleased. Also, we want to just give a blessing for our teachers and our students who have embarked upon testing right now. We know that you're working really hard. To our principals and our staff, instructional leaders, everybody's working together. It's a team effort. And we want to say congratulations to our students. We want to just be conscious of that every morning as we think about, as I see the buses passing in the community, I'm thinking I see kids at the bus stop, that they're getting ready to go in, and some of them are anxious, and I think it's awesome that we have the breakfast program, so they're able to get their breakfast in the morning before they test. So we know that you all are working hard as a division. We thank Catapult for assisting us. They're on the ground also, and Dr. Geiger for your support. And I also want to say thank you. I don't think I've said this publicly. I said it in our VSBA training this week. But want to say thank you to our team, our school board members, and want to thank Mr. Bob Hope for your leadership.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Do we have a motion for adjournment?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We're done.